We're back to Biel, and I'm standing right now with the only player who has 3 wins out of 4 rounds in the Grandmaster Triathlon. Here we have Le Quang Liem. Hello, congratulations on your game, on your victory.
Thank you.
How does it feel to have 3 out of 4?
Well, to be honest, I don't know why, but I always have a lot of decisive games here in Biel. Last year, out of the 7 classical games, I had 6 decisive games, 4 wins and 2 losses. So I got +2. This year so far, I also got +2, so 3 wins and 1 loss. I mean, in terms of the points, it's actually benefited me because we got 4 points for the win and 1.5 for draw. So actually, if I had made the draw yesterday and today, then I could have ended up with fewer points than I have now. So. But yeah, I don't know why. It just happens that my games are very fighting normally.
How did you manage to recover after yesterday? So did you do something special, or you just try to put your mindset on today's game?
Not much. I just try to relax and forget about that game. Yesterday, my opponents played really well, so I thought there was no shame in losing that game. And today, I know that Arjun is also a very good player. He's not having the best tournaments right now, but he can be very dangerous.
So let's dive into today's game.
So the opening started normally. He surprised me a little bit, but I learned to expect the unexpected when facing Arjun because he always tries to come up with something new. So this position after A3, bishop takes, C5, E3 castle. Yeah, queen c7. I didn't really check this move in my prep, and I thought it was a very good one when he played it. What surprised me is that after a4, he didn't take cd4. This is, I thought that this is the whole idea after behind the move queen c7 because he wants to force me to take on d4 with either the e-pawn or the knight. So I don't have the CD option. I was going to take with the knight, and I thought this position after knight e5, bishop a3, rook e8, for example, knight b5, queen c6. I thought it should be around equal. Black shouldn't be any worse here. Castle, black can have like bishop g4. And okay, it's a normal position. I have a weakness on c3. He has a weakness on d5, so it should be around equal. But he played this move c4, which is also very interesting, but I think it is a bit risky for him because strategically, he's giving me a lot of play here. So he does gain some space on the queen side, but I have the bishop pair, and if I can get f3, e4, then this can be quite strong.
Yes, when we were looking at position, I was pretty actually happy for White's position because he released this pressure from the d-pawn, and now you are free to go at some moment for the e4.
Exactly. So I had to find some good plans though, because if I play some normally, some move like castle, then he has knight e4, rook e8 coming, knight f6, and black has a very active position. So I had to start with knight d2 to prevent knight e4, and then after b6, I go castle, rook e8, and I was very happy to find this move, rook e1, and the key idea here is just to get the knight to g3. That's the best square for the knight. So the knight has to go to f1, and then I go f3. I control the e4 square. And the thing is that he doesn't have knight e4 to exchange my knight earlier. For example, after here, rook e8, rook e1, if he goes knight e4, this could be, it doesn't do much because I just go back here and then I go f3. So, so after I get f3, I was very happy with my position. I thought if he doesn't do anything on the queen side, then I'm gonna go like knight g3, bishop d1, queen d2, bishop c2, and then slowly prepare for e4. And that can be very dangerous for black. So he played b5, which is the correct plan, I think.
Did you consider taking, or you?
I did consider taking, but I wasn't sure how to evaluate this position because I think, okay, if he gets the a file, for example, let's just make some move like bishop b4, rook a8, rook takes. Okay, and then he will go bishop c6. Let's make a few more moves. So let's say here, I go here, queen a7, queen c1, for example, rook a2. I'm still very happy with this position, but I don't see a clear way to break through. Like, okay, I can sit like this, and okay, let's say he go like queen a8, how do I get anything here? Because rook b2, he always go like rook a1, rook a2. So I didn't see a clear way to put some pressure here. So I wanted to keep the position close for a little bit more. And the key thing is that if bishop c6 now, then I would take, and then I could do this thing. And he wouldn't have time for
Rook a4?
rook a4, because here I think I would gain a tempo here, like this, with c1. And he would have to go back here. So now he doesn't have the control of the a file. So this is a different story, because with the bishop pair, I slowly try to play for e4. I think I have a risk-free position here. So I try to be accurate and play bishop a3. But of course, the drawback is that he could have played b4, b8, which is what he did in the game. So after, so queen a4, bishop c6, queen c2, a5, rook b1, knight b6. So this is very interesting position. This is a pass pawn for black, but it's actually not going anywhere because my bishop is doing a good job here on a3. So if he goes a4, then I would be happy because my bishop blocks everything and I have a free hand to play on the king side. So I stuck with this move, queen d2, and this is what I calculated. I thought if he goes bishop a4, which may be the idea behind knight b6, then I would go maybe knight g3, bishop b3. It looks very nice for black to get the bishop here, but the thing is that this is just a big pawn, and it's actually even worse than a pawn because it doesn't give black anything. There's no play here, and I would just double the rooks here and play e4.
Could there be anything like knight c8 or bringing the other knight to b5?
Possibly, but that is too slow, I think. I would get e4 very quickly, and this is a very dangerous attack. So after queen d2, I think he played the correct move, knight c8. So his plan is to get the knight to b5 to harass my bishop. Bishop d1, knight d6, knight g3. So here I had some interesting calculation. For example, I calculated this move, knight b5. Here I thought bishop c5 is the critical move, because if I go back, let's say if I go back to c1, then he has a4. And if I take a4, exchange everything, and then he has this knight takes c3 or knight takes d4, and black should be okay here. So I wanted to go to c5, but then I had to calculate this line, knight d7, then I wanted to go bishop a4, and I think the complications work out for me. For example, rook ab8, I could go knight f5, and it feels like I have enough play here because after knight c5, dc, now suddenly I have some ideas like bishop b5, queen d5, or queen d4, knight d6 also. So that worked out for me. So he played the move rook e6, which is good, I think. Bishop c2, g6. Here I played the move bishop c5, because I wanted to see what he would do here. Knight b7, I went back a3. I wasn't gonna repeat the move and make a draw here because I felt like my position was still better, but I wasn't sure what to do after he played, if he had played knight d6, because the whole idea for white must be connected with e4. I have to make e4 work somehow. But let's say if I go rook e1, then he has this knight b5, and my bishop is not stable here. e4 is not working because of knight a3, rook a3, queen e7, and black will take e4 next move. So I have to play bishop c1, for example, and then the bishop is worse on c1, and he probably can play like a4 and try to play a3. So I still don't really get e4 here, so I wasn't sure how to make this work. So, but he played the move rook a8, and then after rook e1, h5. I think this is a mistake for black, because this plan with h5, h4, it looks threatening, but actually it doesn't do anything. Because after rook e2, let's say if he goes h4, the knight will just drop back to h1, and then let's say, for example, knight h5, I would go rook e1 just to avoid knight f4, and then my knight would go to f2, h3, then e4 is coming. And it looks funny because all the white pieces, except the pawn on d4, they have not crossed the middle of the board, but white is actually clearly better here because black is overextended. And once I get e4, it's just gonna be dead loss for black. So I played the move, so when he played h5, I was very happy with this, rook e2, just preparing rook e1 and e4. So he played a4, rook e1. Here, I think it's probably the last critical moment of the game.
Could he play here,
He should have
h4?
played h4, yeah. Knight h1, I could play, and then knight a5. I could go knight f2, yes.
Knight b3, queen d1.
Again, the knight looks very nice here, but it doesn't do anything. The only question is, how do I get a4? So right now, black is threatening this a3. And this is a little annoying because I don't want to go back here because he has queen a5. So I was going to play something like knight h3, and a3, and probably just bishop e1. And I think it's still very difficult to play for black because in the long run, this pawn is going to be a weakness. I have rook a2 sometimes. Knight f4 and knight g5 can be annoying as well.
Knight g5 and e4.
Yeah, so let's say the bishop has to move. I don't know where. Let's say bishop b7 or bishop b5. Then I could go maybe knight g5, rook a6, and then I would have to put something here on a2. And then, okay, I won't take the knight because that opens up the lines for black. But the knight is not doing anything, and then I will slowly prepare for e4. So I think the position is still quite good for white. I'm not sure how much white is better, but definitely I would love to play this position. What he played after, yeah, he played knight a5, e4. I think he miscalculated some lines here. We talked a little bit after the game. He said he wanted to play h4 initially, but the problem is after e5, take, rook e2, rook e2, rook e2, queen e2, gh2, king h1. It's actually lost for black here because there's no way to defend the dash squares. For example, queen f4 runs into queen e7, and black is getting mated. If black goes somewhere else like knight b3, then I just go like queen e3, and queen h6 is coming, and black is lost here. So after e4, he had to take with the pawn, and then I took with the knight, and it's already pretty dangerous here. He doesn't have time for knight b3. If knight d5, I was going to play queen h6 with the idea knight g5, and this looks winning for white as well. So he had to take here, but this is a big concession because now I have the bishop pair, I have the strong pawns as well. Positionally, it's lost for black. So he tried to play on for white. Probably the last.
The question here about 95.
Yeah.
Did you miss it or
No,
you saw?
I didn't. But I thought it should be still very good for me after queen f3.
Knight c7, knight b5.
Yeah. This is what I saw in the game. I thought that was his last chance, maybe. But okay, I mean, I didn't have any other good move. Yeah, I could play e5, knight d5, and queen g3, something like this. But yeah, maybe it's similar to what happened in the game too. But I felt like this one, knight d5, queen f3, knight c7, I should still be quite a bit better here. Not sure how to continue, but let's say I go. Let's say I go rook f2, knight b5. Yeah, it's not entirely clear. Knight c7. Yeah, I think you're right. This is his last chance in this position. Yeah, because this is he has to get a knight to b5 to attack my bishop. Otherwise, it's too late. But okay, I will go bishop b4 like this. I still don't see how black is gonna hold this position. Maybe knight d4. Because a3, I just go back, right? I just go back bishop e1, and this is losing for black. But knight d4, I think maybe not so easy, because okay, he gets to exchange some pieces, maybe some chances to hold this position. Although black might be holding here. So Yeah, so when he missed that 95, I think basically after queen f3, he no longer had this idea to get a knight to b5, and the rest was relatively easy because yeah, this is such a domination here. He has no move here,
Yeah.
and my plan was very easy. Yeah, yeah. So very happy with this game. It wasn't perfect again, but it was a very fighting game. Yeah.
So how do you feel yourself playing first chess 960, then rapid, then a classical, one on the rest, classical, and now you're going into Bliss? Is it difficult to change?
Yeah, it is not easy to adapt, but that's the whole point of the marathon, right? You have to do well in all the time controls, and that's a really nice challenge. And I enjoy playing all the time controls here, so we look forward to the Blitz tomorrow.
How do you feel yourself about the Blitz tomorrow?
In general, I like playing Blitz, but I think my level of Blitz, I mean, I was a world champion in 2013, but I think recently I have been getting slower. Maybe I'm getting older, so probably I need to practice a little bit more tonight just to get into the Blitz
Rhythm,
mindset.
yeah.
And we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
So you're going to play online today?
Possibly, yeah.
So how often do you play online actually? Because you participated in all these events of this rapid championship, yes?
Yeah, I do play online sometimes, but not very often. I know a lot of guys who play Title Tuesdays every week, a bunch of other events online. But I only play the big ones. For example, the Champion Chess Tour. Last year I did very well in that one. I got the fourth place overall in the Champion Chess Tour. This year I had also played some, most events in the Champion Chess Tour already. But those are rapid events. They are more serious than Blitz or Bullet. I don't really play Bullet nowadays. So yeah, it's I just like to play more quality chess, and I feel like Bullet or Blitz without increments, they are not really about, you know, you have to trick your opponent, you have to use a lot of mouse skills, you have to pre-move a lot, and that's kind of fun, but it's not directly related to chess, so I kind of prefer the slower time control nowadays.
Now that we are already more than halfway in the Biel Chess Festival, how do you feel yourself actually, because World Cup is also approaching?
Yeah, so this tournament, I think would be, it's a really good opportunity to practice all my skills before the World Cup. Of course, I try to do well every time I play. World Cup is a really big challenge. I got to round 4 twice before. I didn't play in 2021, so this is has been a long time. I really look forward to World Cup, but it's a different format, and right now I don't think much about World Cup. I just try to focus more on this tournament.
Game after game, yes.
Yeah.
And what are your plans for the future after the World Cup, or you haven't thought about it yet?
Yeah, I'll just go back to the United States and continue my full-time job as the coach of the Webster chess team. I really enjoy my job there. I get to work with a team of very strong students. Most of them are grandmasters, and I prepare them for the collegiate chess tournaments, and that's my full-time job. And I don't know what else I will play after that. Probably some online events. I'll see.
There is one player with whom you were also participating last year, and this year it's Vincent Keimer. What are your thoughts about him and his level, his current play? Because currently he's actually one of the leaders of the tournament.
Yeah, Vincent definitely improved a lot in the last few years. I first played him in 2019 in FIDE Grand Swiss in Ironman, and at that time he was already a very strong GM, but only about 2,500 in the high 2,500s. So I beat him that year, and last year I also beat him a very long game last year. So I got +2 with him before this year. And this year he played really well so far, yesterday as well. So I think he really improved a lot. He deserves to be lead in the tournament. But there's still 3 more rounds to go, and there's the Blitz also. So I look forward to see what happens with his performance in the remaining part of the tournament.
Thank you so much for your time, for showing us insight of the game, and wish you good luck for tomorrow for Blitz.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.